The first time you throw a leg over a motorcycle, nobody hands you the unwritten rule book. Sure, they'll tell you to wear a helmet and take a safety course, but there's a whole world of motorcycle wisdom that only comes through miles and mistakes. Today I'm pulling back the curtain on 7 controversial insights that experienced riders know but rarely share with beginners. These aren't your typical riding tips. They're the hard-earned perspectives that might just save your ride or your life. Let's get started. Insight 1. Your riding buddies can be your biggest danger. We all love group rides, the camaraderie, the shared excitement, the feeling of belonging. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Group dynamics create some of the most dangerous situations you'll ever face on 2 wheels. When you ride in a group, you're not just managing your own decisions. You're caught in a web of peer pressure, competitive instincts, and the infamous keep-up mentality that pushes riders beyond their skill level. Studies show that nearly 40% of motorcycle crashes in group settings happen because riders attempt maneuvers they wouldn't try solo. You know, the most experienced riders out there, they really know when to hang back, when to split off, and, probably most importantly, when to just say, "I'll meet you there," instead of pushing past their own comfort zone. Your ego, well, it heals a lot faster than your body ever will. So, just remember that the next time your buddies are pushing the pace beyond your skill level. Insight number 2. The perfect bike doesn't exist. Adaptability does. Spend just 5 minutes on any motorcycle forum, and honestly, you'll see endless debates about the so-called perfect motorcycle. Sport bikes versus cruisers. Adventure bikes versus naked bikes. Japanese engineering versus European soul. The arguments just go on and on. Here's the controversial truth. There is no perfect motorcycle. Only the perfect rider mindset, really. The riders who truly mastered 2 wheels, they understand that adaptability always trumps specialization. That Harley you absolutely love on those Sunday afternoon back roads? It might be torture during weekday commutes. And that sport bike that carves canyons like butter? It might leave you feeling pretty crippled after a 300-mile day. You know, the secret isn't finding the mythical do-it-all bike. It's actually developing the skills to adapt to any machine you're riding. Balance, throttle control, and road awareness, they really translate across every style. If you master those fundamentals instead of chasing the perfect bike, suddenly every motorcycle becomes rideable, enjoyable, and honestly, surprisingly capable. Insight number 3. The first 5 to 10 minutes after starting your ride are when you're most vulnerable. Most riders think danger lurks on high-speed highways or twisty mountain roads, but, well, the statistics tell a different story. The first 5 minutes after you pull away from your driveway or parking spot is when you're at your highest risk. Your tires are cold. Your mind hasn't fully transitioned into riding mode. Your muscle memory hasn't kicked in. And worst of all, you don't even know you're vulnerable. You know, professional riders have a ritual. They treat these first few minutes like they're riding on ice. Regardless of conditions, they consciously check their braking response. They mentally rehearse emergency maneuvers. They assume every car is about to pull out in front of them. So, it's really important to develop your own first 5 minutes protocol. Your brain needs this transition period far more than your bike needs to warm up. Insight number 4. ABS can give you false confidence. We've all heard the sales pitch. Anti-lock brakes will save your life. And yeah, ABS technology has prevented countless crashes. But here's the uncomfortable truth nobody's talking about. ABS is creating a generation of riders who don't truly understand braking. When you rely on ABS as your safety net, you're not developing the subtle feel and muscle memory that expert riders possess. You start grabbing handfuls of brake like you're squeezing a stress ball, just assuming the computer will sort everything out. But ABS has limitations that become painfully apparent in the worst moments. ABS can't compensate for poor brake timing. It can't magically create traction on gravel or wet leaves. And it certainly can't help when you're panic braking mid-corner because you entered too fast. In fact, it might make things worse. The riders who truly master their machines treat ABS like an insurance policy they hope never to use. They develop proper progressive braking technique, understand traction variables, and practice threshold braking until it becomes instinct. ABS should be your backup plan, not your primary braking strategy. Insight number 5. Engine braking isn't a braking replacement. There's something really satisfying about downshifting into a corner, hearing the engine rev, and feeling that smooth deceleration without even touching the brakes. Engine braking just feels sophisticated, mechanical, and somehow more pure than using your actual brakes. But here's the truth. Experienced riders won't sugarcoat. If you're relying on engine braking as your primary means of slowing down, you're riding dangerously. Engine braking is inconsistent, unpredictable in emergency situations, and puts stress on components not designed for primary braking duty. Worse, it creates variable deceleration depending on gear, RPM, and engine temperature. Exactly what you don't want in critical moments. Your motorcycle has precision-engineered braking systems with pistons, pads, and hydraulics specifically designed for one-job controlled deceleration. Using your transmission instead is like cutting steak with the handle of your fork. You might eventually get the job done, but you're using the wrong tool. The next time you approach a corner, try this brake first to set your speed, then downshift to the appropriate gear. Your bike will thank you, and you'll discover the control that comes from using the right systems for the right purpose. Insight 6. Too much gear can make you sloppy. Let me start by saying something controversial. There is such a thing as too much protective gear, and before the safety police come for me, hear this out. When you're wrapped in layers of armor like a medieval knight, something subtle happens to your riding psychology. I've seen it countless times. Riders in full race suits taking risks they'd never attempt in less gear. Riders with back protectors so bulky they can't properly check blind spots. Gloves so thick they can't feel subtle feedback through the bars. Boots so stiff they miss critical gear shifts. The irony is painful. Gear designed to protect you in a crash can sometimes make that crash more likely to happen in the first place. True riding mastery comes from finding that balance. Wearing gear that protects without restricting, that instills confidence without breeding complacency. The best riders I know choose gear that reminds them of their vulnerability rather than disguising it. Protection matters, but never let it become a psychological license to ride beyond your skill level. Insight 7. Controlled wet riding builds skills. Dry courses can't teach. Most instructors tell beginners to avoid rain entirely. What they don't tell you is that experienced riders deliberately practice in wet conditions to sharpen skills that transfer everywhere. There's a specific way to approach this. First, wait until the rain has been falling steadily. Those first 15 minutes when oil rises to the surface are legitimately dangerous. Choose familiar roads, reduce your speed by at least 30%, and focus entirely on smooth inputs. What happens next is remarkable. Your senses heighten. You develop a conversation with traction that dry riding rarely demands. Your throttle control becomes precise. Your braking evolves from grabbing to applying. Each body position shift becomes intentional. This isn't about riding in thunderstorms or taking unnecessary risks. It's about targeted practice in manageable conditions with proper gear. Advanced riding schools charge hundreds for what a light rain day can teach you for free, if you approach it as a learning opportunity rather than something to survive. The best riders don't fear wet roads. They use them as the advanced classroom most never discover. Just remember, different bikes respond differently in wet conditions, so start conservative and gradually explore your machine's capabilities. So there you have it, 7 controversial insights that might challenge what you've been told, but could make all the difference in your riding career. Remember, the most dangerous thing in motorcycling isn't the speed or the machine, it's the assumptions we make about what we know. Ride smart, ride humble, and never stop learning. The road has endless lessons for those willing to listen.